There's a story to it. But so we're going to do the intro. Thank you for being here, for the replay crew and or for people who are new to my channel. My name is Dion. I call this the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. Why do I call it that? I call it the craziest because I want you all to realize it's okay to be your authentic self, as weird as that may sound. Try not to feel like you need to act in a way you normally don't or be somebody that you're not. Excuse me. The troll part is not caring too much. Hey, Dawn, you're the first one here. The troll part is not caring too much. Hey, Tanya, about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. You're here, you must use this brand, this tool, this technique. And I'm here to tell you that you don't. Use whatever you want to use, however you want to use it to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. You can try all the things if you want to, but try not to feel obligated to do so. The bottom line here, the bottom line at the Crazy Troll Nation is self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhance them when you want to, if you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. That's what the Crazy Troll Nation stands for. Two things to know about me if you're new here. I do curse. You have been warned. Hey, Janessa, I just said I had a Janessa look on today. And the second thing is there's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches, and it already made an appearance. I do try to be aware of it to always say, excuse me, but sometimes one or two may get past me. So that's our intro. That's what we're about here. And that's two little tidbits about me. I'm going to talk about it because it's like the elephant in the room that everybody sees. These freaking lashes, y'all. Let me zoom you in. That's my zoom. Y'all, this mascara, I thought I purchased the green one, but it was white. So when I opened it, I was like, oh. But it looks like false lashes. And it's making my lashes feel heavy. I feel like I had on those flu lashes that came in my kit that I tried on at one time. So I do like the effect though. And because they're like really fluffy, to me it's making my eyes look smaller. And I think maybe because it's weighing down my lid, like I don't know. But I like the effect though. So maybe sometime in the far distant future, I'll order another color. Because I needed something, I needed a small amount for free shipping. And if the amount is about equal, I'll just buy something to have something instead of just paying for shipping. So that's why I got this. And I'm just like, ooh. So yeah, but all the pink and the green, I have green upper lash line. This is a Janessa look. And I think it might be posted in the next week or so. I'm not sure. Hey, Lack, I saw you pop in. Thank you for being here. So for most of you that will be watching this live stream or the replay, you're not going to be surprised. What I'm going to show you today are some of my favorite makeup items and some of my favorite makeup brushes. So this is probably more so for someone newer to my channel because y'all know I wear the same stuff, the same brand. It's predictable here, and I like what I like. And for those who may be new, I have a lot of sensitivities, and so there's a lot of brands that I cannot wear because of the ingredients, and also my face does not like natural hair brushes, and so all of my brushes always are synthetic, which I love because you can use any synthetic brush for anything you want to. Whereas with natural hair brushes, some are better suited for this or for that. So, but anyway, and I wash my brushes after every use. And natural hair brushes, they say don't do that. And I'm like, ew. But anyway, no judgment. So I pulled out some things. You see, I'm at my desk. And so I pulled out some of my favorite things. We have makeup here. We'll go through that first. And then we'll talk about brushes. I didn't bring everything, but just like something from each brand. Which again, none of you will be surprised by. Did I say hello to everybody? Dawn, Tanya, Janessa, Locke. Yeah. So, I these two items I do really love. I don't use them that often because it takes me a little bit longer than their counterparts. So what I'm talking about is, and I did use these today. Y'all, you see the chisel? Ugh. Yeah, I used two products I haven't used in a while. This is from MAC, And this is Studio Fix Conceal and Correct palette. And it's for, well, shade dark it says. So this is, I used this today as a contour. So that's that line. And I use this as a bronzer. So that's just above it. Yo, I have so much stuff on my face today. And I do really like this. And I just don't use it often because it's just quicker to just put on a powder or something rather than go. But something like this, cream products, you kind of have to take your time because if you put it somewhere you don't want to, it's not going to come off. So you'll end up having to cover it up. So, but this I really like. And I purchased this for my kit and also the other colors. Again, this one is dark. They have like deep, dark, light, medium, tan, whatever they have. Because I wanted to have something for everybody. And so even though this is for concealing and correcting, I use these for contour and this for blush. I did try this one for something I forgot because I can tell I see the brush in it and I don't double dip. So yeah, so I really like that. I do need to use it more. And also Makeup Forever, one of these things, and this is their HD Skin Face Essentials palette. And so this is what's on this side inside the palette. This is what's on the other side. And it says Face Essentials because these are your contours and bronzers. These are your blushes and highlighters. And I do think these are highlighters too. I mean, I don't know, unless it's somebody that's very fair. Because it does say contour and, what did I just say? Contour and bronzer and highlight and blush. And so I used this one today as a blush. And I think I used this one as a highlighter. But you can see I've used everything in here, actually, except this one. And I really do like these. A little bit goes a long way. A little bit goes a long way. A little bit goes a long way. And you see marks in it because, again, I don't double dip. But I did purchase brushes to use in here, and I get enough on the brush that I can do both sides. And even when I'm working on a client, I get enough on the brush to use both sides. And because these are so pigmented, the same as this, when I tap it in, then I'll tap it on the palette where some professional makeup artists will tap on the back of their hand or their arm. I just tap it on the palette just to get some of the excess off. And then if I do need a little bit more, that's what I will work off of. But this, I really like. They do have this just blush and highlighter. And I think, oh, what was her name? I want to say Alinka, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Her name is spelled, I'm not even going to spell it. I think it's Ilinca or something like that. She has one of the ones that's just blush and highlight. And it's really pretty, and she really likes it. And so, but having these, and I did purchase the other colors for my kit. This one is for tan to deep. So I feel like I don't feel like I can justify purchasing the one just with blushes and highlighters because I have all these blushes and highlighters, and I have the other ones of these, and I have these. And so I do really like it though. And Makeup Forever is geared towards professional makeup artists. And a complaint that I saw and here in reviews and for the MAC ones, they were saying, it's a waste of money because I only use one or two shades. But I'm like, it's not made for just one person. It's made for, So I was just like, okay, somebody didn't get the memo that these are not just for just your personal use because you will just use one shade. When I did the woman's face in the class, I think I used I used two shades out of the one for deep skin, and I mixed them, and she loved it. And so I told her not to get the two different palettes, or not to get the whole palette. I said, and we did an even mix. So I said, just match up, mix it, go into the store, do an even mix. Hey, Sarah. And then, go around the store and see if they just have whatever just in that color, because I said then you'll end up with 6 shades and only need 2, which people were complaining, I only use 2 shades, it's a waste of money. Well, you saw it before you bought it, so why? Anyway, y'all know where I'm going with that. But I really do like these, and so these 2 I keep at my desk, and surprisingly or not, the faces I've done, they're either lighter than me or darker than me. So I'm like, I'll just keep these at my station. So I do really like these. They are expensive. These suckers, and even the blush and highlight one, they're $88. but I do get a 30% discount. So that helps a lot because I was just like, so again, just for one person, like just for yourself, I would say not to get it. Unless you can just figure out a way to make everything in it work for you because that's a lot of money. And they don't have sales that often. Mac has sales, somewhat, what's the word I'm looking for? Frequently. I didn't bring over here primer. I didn't bring over here foundation. I didn't bring over here concealer. I didn't bring setting powder. I didn't bring setting spray, finishing spray, because it's always the same stuff. Y'all know that. So that stuff I didn't bring. And this will be. Did I miss saying hello? Oh yeah, Sarah. So this will be no surprise. My favorite of all bronzers are House Labs. Shocker, I know. This one is Deep Level 9. I just pulled it at random because I have 4 of them. But for me, what sets this apart from other brands is that even if I put too much, I can blend it out and it looks perfect. Whereas some bronzers, if you put too much, it might not want to blend right or it might look patchy. House Labs to me never looks patchy. And when I first started using them, when I got the darker shades, I was just like, oh my God, this is too much. But blending it was perfect. So I was just like, so with this formula, yeah, this is my all-time favorite brand for blushes and for blush. Did I say blush? What did I say? I don't know. For bronzers, I probably said blushes. But for bronzers, this is my all-time favorite formula. And I do have a few other brands for bronzers, but House Labs is it for me. Those are my favorites. Feel free to put in the chat like what your favorite products are too, because it may help someone else decide whether or not to try something. House Labs blushes. This one is Watermelon Bliss. The same thing with their bronzer, their blushes as the bronze. There's too many B words. I can put too much. And when I first got this, I put too much because I'm thinking it's like other blushes where you just got it, and it was too much. It was just like, and I was like, oh my God. And I blended it and it ended up perfect. So it's just something with this formula that it just works. Easy to apply, easy to go on, easy to blend out. It's hard to overdo it unless you just want to. But, and it's buildable. Because on top of cream stuff, I do have this on today, but look at that though. You know what I'm saying? And so you can go light, you can go heavy. Janessa says she loves the Trixie Cosmetics bronzers. Oh, hit the wrong button. The Trixie Cosmetics bronzers, the Trixie Stick Cream bronzers, and the Flower Power Powder bronzers. I have not tried any of those. I have heard of Trixie Cosmetics though, and I'm not sure if I've heard about Flower Power. It sounds familiar, but I don't think I have. But I know I haven't tried anything from any of those. Hey Christine, how are you? And so that's what makes these my all-time favorite because I do have other blushes. I have, excuse me for that, my throat. What other brand? I have three other brand of blushes. I was gonna say bronzers, but these just blend out in a way for me that it's hard for me to mess up. It's hard for me to mess up. I do like the Sigma one because when I apply it, it looks like I have a highlight on with it when I don't. But this right here, because you can build it up, you can go as light as you want to, you can go as heavy as you want to. It just friggin' works, and it's just so easy to blend. So that's my all-time favorite brand of blushes. And I thought about doing a video of what I'm not going to purchase this year, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that because y'all already know what I love. And because I have so many House Labs blushes, and now I have 4 of their bronzers and 4 of their highlighters, it's like House Labs, Christina, it is. And so it's hard for me to justify buying other stuff because these are holy grail for me. The House Labs bronzers, blushes, and highlighters are holy grail for me. And so for me to do a video saying what I'm not going to buy this year, y'all going to be like, girl, we already knew that. And so I'm like, I'm not even going to do it. And y'all know I don't buy a lot of stuff anyway. So it's not like, oh, what'd she get? Oh, Oh, hey, Lock, I bought that thing I told you I was going to purchase. I'm not going to say it here. I'll show you when it gets here. Tanya says she knows some people that like benefit. I tried their bronzers way back in the day, and it was okay. But if I tried it now, this would still be it. House Labs would still be it. It's just the way, it's just so smooth going on, and how easy it is to blend for me. Oh, you're welcome, Christine. Thank you for being here. Hey, Jay. Who? Oh, Janessa. I was going to say, who's Jay? Sarah says she has a few blushes and bronzers, but I'm not comfortable with placement yet, so I don't use them that much. You got to just practice, Sarah. Just practice. And if you're not sure, practice before you wash your face to go to bed at night. Because then it's like it's coming right off. And it can be challenging because, no, I'm not on a no buy. I'm on a perpetual low buy, Christine. Tanya says she has yet to find a workable bronzer. I see you grinning, Lock. Um, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, you will see videos saying you have to wear your blush this way, that way. Number one, for me, it depends on face shape. I like my blush here because it kind of narrows my face. You see what I'm saying? And the same with like doing, I use contour and bronzer interchangeably, but at this chiseled my face today. I'm just like, ooh. But it depends on your face shape because I have a pudgy ass face. And so when they say, smile, put your blush here, and then they say don't because when you don't smile, it's gonna drop down. If you have, I would say if you have, I don't even know what kind of face, but for me, this is what I like for me, and also it's whatever you like for yourself. If you want your blush down here, put it here. If you want it just on the apples of your cheeks, which is right here, that's fine. Some people do their blush all the way up here and do blush draping, and so it's just experimenting to see. Exactly, Christine. Rock your makeup however you want. Tanya likes blush on the apples of your cheeks, and even though I have a round face, Tanya, you be putting blush everywhere, which is really cool. Your favorite blush placement is Morris and Janessa. But I do tend to like mine back here because when something is a lighter color, it's going to bring more attention to that area. Whereas if it's something that's darker, it'll kind of make it like a shadow and make it look further in, which is what contour does. It kind of makes this like go in, and then because it's bright up here, this part is more pronounced. And so that's the concept. Um, yes, Sarah. Just put it on and just see, or even do one side one way, another side the other way, and just see which one you like better. But I haven't done the blush draping thing because I'm just like, and I need, like I'm telling Sarah, try it. I need to just try and blush draping, but sometimes, well, for me, I get into my ways of just doing how I like it because I know it's going to look nice. And so I just zip, 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 and then I'm done. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, so some people, it's however you like it for you. House Labs highlighters, Holy Grail for me as well. I pulled this one at random. This one is Fire Opal, and it's described as yellow orange or orange yellow. It's described as yellow orange. This is so pretty. So you see the orange and you see the yellow. And it's the same thing with the bronzers and the blushes. It just blends so easy. It's not glittery. It goes on smooth. So those are my holy grails from her. Shocker to all of you here, I know. And of course for finishing powders, y'all know it's Hourglass. And right now I have 4 different ones. Radiant Light. This one is Luminous Light, and this is described as a champagne pearl. What Luminous Light does for me, and it does work under my eyes as well, which a couple of them don't because they're darker, but it just like evens out everything on my face. And even if I have like a harsh line from another blush I use, it didn't blend out right. By the time I put this on, everything is just cohesive, and it just looks nice. And it does have a subtle glow to it, but it's very subtle. Radiant Light, that makes me look like a disco ball if I put too much. And the thing about the Hourglass Ambient Light, what is it called? Ambient Lighting Powder. It may look like you don't have it on, and that's how I learned with Radiant Light. I'm sitting at my station, putting it on, putting it on, putting it on for a video until I could see it. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. And when I went outside, it was like fairy dust all over my face. I was just like, oh. So I learned I have to go light with Radiant Light because it does bring radiance to my skin. And so I do like that one in the summer, but I have to go really light. I have to go really light. But something like this one, because it's champagne pearl, and that's kind of my complexion, it just finishes off everything. It's like if I had hair and I did my hair and then put on hairspray to just lock everything in. That's what this does. And I have Eternal Light. You hit the sun, radiant light shine. Woo, the first time I used it and went outside lock, I was embarrassed. I pulled down my rearview mirror. I was like, oh my God. I look like one of the Cullens. Radiant light shine is beautiful. I use it every day as a highlighter. Yeah, and I was putting it all over because it does work for under my eyes, but I have to go lightly. And it does work for all over. But a few of their powders I do just use in strategic places. I also have, what is that one? It's described as a purple something. And I didn't think I was going to like it, but I really do. I like that under eye and all over. And I have Eternal Light, which is deeper. That one makes me look toasty, so I have to go really light. And so for that one, what I find is I'll just put a little right here, a little here, a little on my chin, a little on my forehead, and that's it. It doesn't work under my eyes because it's too dark, even though it is light. But so that one I just have to just do really lightly. But it has the same effect. It just like everything just blends together perfect. And I have to admit I haven't used that I remember any other setting. Well, not setting, finishing powders. There is a difference between a setting powder and a finishing powder. And I don't remember other finishing powders that I've tried before. So I don't want to say I have or I haven't. Um, but for me, when I like something, just like with all the House Lab stuff, I'll just get multiple colors and just, have fun. But this is it for me. And all of these things I do get on sale. I really want House Labs to come to Ulta because I love their reward system a lot better than Sephora's. But I do, the more recent ones I purchased was during a Sephora sale. And the same with Hourglass I got from Ulta when they had a sale that included prestige items. And so I do have shop my links down below for most of this stuff too. If you're interested in making a purchase, I would appreciate using my codes, my links, but it is not required. We're going to talk now about eyeliners. I didn't bring one over here. I use pencil liners for inner rims and lower lash line. And the brand, I'm kind of caught between Matte Color Excess Gel Pencil Liners and NYX retractable eyeliners. I like the MAC ones a little bit more because the formula is a little drier. And not dry where it tugs, but drier to where it stays longer on my inner rims, which is this line right here. But the NYX ones, even their lighter colors, like their aqua green, that shows up nice on my waterline, where for some other brands it doesn't. I did try ColourPop because all the pretty colors irritated my eyes, and so that's a no. And so, but I'm caught between NYX retractable eyeliners and Matte Color Excess. And so right now, some shades are really similar. And so I've been paying attention to what I like more, which will dictate what I repurchase. And I did finish my green one, Pool Shark from MAC, and I'm not repurchasing it because I have the aqua green, or it's aqua blue, but it's a brighter green than the MAC one. But anyway, so I'm just waiting, and then I'll keep seeing which ones, because 3 are somewhat brownish. One is a shimmer copper, one is a brown, one is something else that looks kind of brown, but it's not. And so I've been paying attention when I wear them, like which ones do I like better, because those will be the ones I buy. And so that's my inner rims and lower lash line liner. For my upper lash line liner, my favorite of all time is Inglot, because they have a lot of fun colors. I brought a green one over here. They have a red. The red I have now, this is my second time having it. That one seems to dry out quicker than the other colors. They have white. I have their white one. They're yellow. They're green. They're purple. They have a shimmer blue. They have a shimmer copper. I just love all the different colors because I like using different colors instead of black or brown for my upper lash line. And actually, this one, and they have numbers, not names. This is number 86. This is the one I have one today for my upper lash line. I just love all the funny colors. The PAO is 9 months. And you see, even though it looks like it's dry and it's cracked, it still applies fine. And they have Dura line you can put in it. But for me, If it's starting to dry or and not where it's not usable because this still goes on fine, but like the red one is becoming more and more harder to use. And so if the PAO is 9 months and it's drying out in 8 or 9 months, I'm not going to revive it because I have sensitive stuff. You know what I mean? But some people will just put Doraline in it. They'll still use it. It's fine. But I just don't want to take that chance, especially because it's, on my upper lash line. But so Inglot is my all-time favorite liner for upper lash line because they have all the fun colors. And I have yet to try the water activated one from Lethal. So we'll see how that works. So for if y'all do inner rims and lower lash line, let me know what you use for that. Because I know a lot of people don't do lower lash line. A lot of people don't do inner rims. And I've been doing inner rims probably since 2008. Because once I tried it, I was like, I was hooked. I'm like, I always do that. But it's just a fun thing to do, and it makes a subtle difference. And I just really enjoy that. For my favorite liquid lipstick, this is not going to be a shocker either, would be Sephora Cream Collection because they have a lot of colors. My favorite formula is MAC's Matte Retro Liquid Lipstick. I have their black. The next darkest is a shimmer purple. So I'm like, can y'all give me other colors besides the shimmer purple and then like a bunch of pinks and reds and nudes? And so that's why I have a lot of the Sephora ones. So Sephora takes the spot for my favorite cream. Well, not necessarily, excuse me, a cream, but my favorite liquid lipstick because they have so many different colors. They have nudes, they have reds, they have pinks, they have purples, they have greens, blues. And so I really like having that variety, and I do. You do, Sarah? You like these too? And they really did reformulate because I remember when they said they were going to reformulate, and these are shorter, and not that this part is not shorter. The cap is shorter, so it's the same amount of product. And I kept saying, I wonder if they really did reformulate or if they just said that to charge us more because now they're $16. They used to be like I think 13, and I would get them 30% off during the sale, which is like $8 or something like that. But when I did get one and I tried it, it is a different formula. The other one, when it would dry down, I could feel it when it dries down, but my lips don't feel dry, if that makes sense. Whereas these, I had put this on, I think it was in a video or something, and I forgot that I had it on. And it had dried down, but it felt like it did when I first put it on. Like it didn't feel dry at all. And so I really do like it. They really did reformulate, and I have a ton of colors. Yeah, so this is my favorite. One of the downsides to this is I was trying to do an ombre lip. This doesn't play well with other brand liquid lipsticks. It does not play well with other brand liquid lipsticks. And so I only play with this with itself when I'm doing an ombre lip because I was just like, why? Because the other ones I could use with other stuff, but the new ones, no. So that's my all-time favorite liquid lipstick. I did order 2 from Notoriously Morbid. I'll let you know how that goes because the only liquid lipstick from them I have is one that came free gift with purchase, and one they had sent in PR. I think it was their Mystic Metallic something. I didn't like it, but these 2 are matte ones, and so we'll see how that goes. Katie loves their liquid lipsticks, but I only have those 2 experiences. One from a gift with purchase that was really nice, and the one that was sent in PR, which, and not surprisingly, well, surprisingly, Katie didn't like that one either. So I'm like, okay, this must be different than her other ones because she swears by their liquid lipsticks, and so we'll see. I did purchase a few from Spellcast Beauty, their sister brand, and I do like those. And those were funky colors too, but it was like really fun to use those because of those colors. Let me know if y'all are liquid lipstick people or bullet lipstick people. Because once I really got into the liquid lipsticks, I don't like bullet lipsticks no more because I don't want to reapply. I've had this on since It's after 8. I had this on since maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'm drinking a bunch of water. I've eaten noodles for dinner with a protein in it. And it's still, you can't even tell. Whereas bullet lipsticks, I could tell because they start to wear off, where for me, the liquid ones really don't. So, are y'all liquid lipsticks or are y'all bullets? That's the question. I do appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for all the thumbs up, too. I didn't bring over lip liners either. I'm not really... Lip liners, to me, I'm kind of indifferent because usually with liquid lipstick, I don't wear lip liners. But there was one I used where I'm like, okay, I need a liner because it was just bleeding everywhere. It was just very just. But other than that, Sarah says liquid, but I still use bullets sometimes. Does it matter if you're going out or you're going to be eating and drinking, or it's just whatever your mood is for that day, Sarah? And Janessa says, I definitely prefer liquid lipstick. They are great for shows and I don't have to reapply. Exactly. I do not want to reapply. I sometimes like a bullet lipstick if I'm having a filming day or just doing quick photos. Yeah, because it's going to come off. Yeah, and I don't like to reapply either. I remember one time I was going down to the Playhouse and I did a look and I had on a black lipstick. And I went down there. Locke says she likes both as long as you enjoy the formula. And I ate dinner. I got there early enough to eat dinner with a friend that was there. And it was like fried chicken, it was ribs. So it's stuff that was like greasy. And then I remembered, Sarah says her mood, or if she doesn't have a particular color in the lipstick. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And I forgot I had the lipstick on. And so then, like, after I ate and everything, we're sitting there talking. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I had on lipstick. I was like, oh, man, I'm probably looking crazy. Because depending on who the friend is, they may be like, you need to fix your lipstick. And some might just be like, I don't see it. I ain't going to say nothing. So I asked, I said, does my lipstick look okay? And they looked and they were like, yeah, look like you did when you got here. It looks perfect. And I was like, damn, that was the MAC one. I was like, damn. And her to eat greasy stuff and the lips still be there. That ain't going to happen with a bullet. Ew, look at my chin. What's freaky about this? It's only right here. Like, why does it not come, like, all the way across? It's just right here. This shit is fucking weird. Look at that. It's just right here. Like a partial double chin. Like, it's not even over here. Anyway. Y'all know I be clowning my own features. I just think that is weird. It's not even, like, all the way across. Like, what the hell? I pointed that out to one of our previous doctors, and she was like, oh, that is weird. And I'm like, yeah, I said that. I had Mountain Dew earlier, y'all. So for lip gloss, surprisingly, are the City Lips. I do like the Fenty ones. I do. They're thicker, but they do last long. Tanya says she's not a liquid lippy fan. You prefer bullets. Okay. Do you find that you have to reapply like throughout the day, or do you just let it wear off and then that's it? And I find that even though this says just put directly on your lips, I found that using this even on top of a lipstick, it doesn't break down the mateness of my liquid lipstick. And I can still feel that slight tingle for 20 minutes and then it goes away. So even on top of lipstick, this still penetrates down to plump the lips. And so I was surprised at that. And so having tried that, I now use these more because the PAO was only 6 months. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Tanya says I may let it wear off and then use a different color. Like, Tanya, you had on brown lipstick earlier. Now you have on red. Like, what? Am I tripping? What's going on? And so these are, and I was wondering if they're going to do new colors for this next year. Because they're doing different stuff, y'all. They have skincare. They just came out with collagen supplements. I didn't get that. Because y'all know my system. I'm like, I'm not getting those. I think I might have posted on my community tab, but I'm like, I'm not getting those. I'm like, I am not trying that. And I still got hives from December 19th. So I'm just like, I'm not trying no new stuff. But here's a secret, y'all. They didn't say don't say, so no. They're coming out with lip liner. And so I'm hoping it's a dark one. I don't think it'll be like Nima Tang Dose of Colors dark, but I'm hoping for a dark one because I would use the lip liner, or at least try it. But this would be my favorite lip gloss, even though the PAO is 6 months, because I will never get through it. One of them, I think I'm like down to here, but I would never get through it. Um, and because of the texture of this, I think I just said it doesn't break down the matteness of my liquid lipstick, where something like the Fenty gloss bombs, it'll break down the lipstick. What other ones do I have? I have something from Notoriously Morbid that breaks down the liquid lipstick. I think that's it. I'm thinking I have something else, but this would be my favorite lip gloss. And if I were to purchase, I would just purchase like 1 or 2 shades because I want to use up what I have. And having so many different shades, it's like, am I going to use all that? I have one that's a white with silver glitter. But even the ones with glitter, they don't feel glittery on your lips. And then they have one that's clear with gold glitter. They look the exact same on my lips. And so stuff like that, I would be like, I wouldn't buy 2 of those. This one is the nude on me. And they feel nice on the lips. They don't dry out my lips. You like those Susa Sarah. I wear them around the house. These are really nice. And I love that they don't burn. A couple years ago, I bought, I think it was Too Faced lip gloss. I didn't realize it was plumping. I put it on and my lips was burning. I was like, oh hell! And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, oh damn, this is the plumping gloss. That shit was burning. I was like, felt like my lips was on fire. So I like that these is a slight tingle for like 20 seconds and then it goes away. And the tingle doesn't even happen right away. But I really do like these. And so I am in their partnership program. So hopefully they'll come out with new colors next year. And if not, when they have like a buy one get one free, I will buy these because y'all, these are expensive as hell. Yeah, the Too Faced lip injection and Screen Week. I was just like, what the fuck is this? These y'all are $35. And so that's why when they would have 40% off or buy one get one free, I would post and be like, this is the time to get it. Because some people do spend $15, $16, $17 for a lip gloss. So for that, yeah, I would get the buy one get one free. Tanya says she loves a gloss. But full price, $35? Just get one and wear it every friggin' day because the PAO is 6 months. And I do keep stuff longer. If it starts to smell funny, it goes in the trash. That's why, Tanya, I'm like, if the 40% off sale or buy one, get one free, that's when I'm like, if you want to try it, this is when you get it. And they have a money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you can get a refund. And so that's more incentive, I think, for people to try it because their stuff is expensive. But yeah, if they don't come out with new ones next year, or for whatever reason we can't pick, products we would like to try, I would definitely order these, and that says a lot because these are just expensive. Even at $17, this is expensive. But that's how much I really like them. I do. Lots of links down below. We got eyeshadow brands, and then we're gonna move to brushes, and y'all ain't gonna be surprised about none of those either. I don't think I haven't tried Revlon in a long time. Tanya says her favorite is Fenty and Revlon. Oh, I'm scratching y'all. These hives. Oh my God. That's how you caught the mind. I saw one of your community posts. Yeah, and I'm like, because I recommend them, but it's hard to recommend them at $35 a piece for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm glad you did try it, and I'm glad that you really enjoy them too. But I would actually buy those for buy one get one free. So hopefully they still do that because they did that a few times last year. But we'll see what happens with that. Favorite eyeshadow brands. I brought 4 over here. And these are like my all-time favorite brands. Not necessarily these palettes, which they're all top tier. But Natasha Denona, Janessa says, I recently picked up a bunch of Made by Mitchell stuff on Beauty Bay. I want to do a full face get ready with me video. Excuse me, I've liked some of his stuff, and some has been meh. Janessa, I would love for you to do a full face get ready with me because I want to see your process. Because I remember you saying, like, your makeup does not move. I'm like, I need to learn how to do that. And I was watching somebody, I forget who it was, and they were saying to spray between each step. Like, do the finishing powder or not the finishing powder. The setting spray, they were saying do that in between each step. Like do your foundation, spray your face, do your powder to set it, spray your face, do your blush, bronzer, highlight, spray your face, whatever else you do, spray your face, and then use a finishing spray. And so I've been telling myself one day I'm going to try spraying in between each step, but then I'm like, I want to see what Janessa do. Because I know your stuff stays. And I'm like, so I need to know what you do. Um, Thank you, Tanya. And you know what? It's making my lashes feel heavy, and it's making my eyes look smaller. So I don't know if it's just like making my eyes close or what. But yeah, I thought I bought a green one, but apparently I didn't. And when I opened it, I was like, "Oh, this is white." I was like, "Oh crap!" But yeah, this I like the effect though, because it looks like false lashes to me. It's I really like this, but I didn't realize it was white. But I said, you know what? We're gonna put it on. And so Natasha Denona, I've been a fan of Natasha Denona brand since, excuse me, I definitely am planning a full face get ready with me as part of a drag 101 video. I would really like to see that because I need to learn some things. I need to learn some things. Um, Back even before, oh, Tanya says yes, Janessa, here for that. I want to see the process. I want to see like start to finish. I think that would be really cool. Back when Metropolis first came out, that's when I fell in love with Natasha Denona. The formula, her cream to powder and her creamy mattes. And some people didn't like her creamy mattes and cream to powder. They were like, it's hard to work with. It doesn't blend. I'm like, it worked fine for me. But things work different for different people for whatever reason. I don't know if it's skin type, brush type. I don't know. But I've never had a problem with any of her shadows. The only ones I didn't like back then was her chroma crystals because to me they were just glittery. But now, like her chroma crystals are a little bit more creamy. They're a little more smooth, and so that formula to me has changed. And so now I don't mind them as much. But I have been a fan of Natasha's stuff for more years than I can remember. It's just the formula works. I don't care too much for the topper type shades because I just usually don't top my shadow. I just put on whatever shadow I want to put on. So that's the me thing. That's the me thing. Metropolis was visually too busy for me, says Locke. It was a beautiful palette. I love that palette. And people complain because it was like 3 or 4 tans in there or whatever, and I'm like, they all work for me. And the thing with Metropolis is like I was able to look at it and see different looks, and I am envisioning it right now. Near the top left corner, there was like some greens and like a mustardy tone, and so that's where I got my grunge vibe from. And then like at the bottom, they had that green, which was very similar to the dark blue. But down where the greens were, like those kind of made a look, and then the blue you could match up with over there. And then they had the pocket in the right corner up top that was like the nudes, the neutrals, and so when I would travel, that would be the only palette I would take with me because I was able to do so many different types of looks with it. And so if she restocked that or relaunched it, I would buy another one in a heartbeat, full price. I would. I would be out of my perpetual low buy because I love that palette that much because it has so many different colors in it. And it wasn't like huge. It wasn't huge. But I really love that palette. And I used it till it irritated my lids and then I got rid of it. And by then they weren't making anymore. So I'm like, But yeah, some people did say they didn't like it because it was just all over the place, they were saying, but I liked it. That was one of my favorites. So Natasha's one of my favorite brands. Notoriously Morbid is one of my favorite brands. And we just did our ranking. We talked about it, so we're not going to get back into it. And I do have a code for Natasha down below and for Notoriously Morbid down below. As a reminder, if y'all didn't know or weren't here before, if you're part of the replay crew, their turnaround time now was 10 to 15 business days. Yeah, that's huge because it's no longer 2-3 months. You're going to get your stuff in about 3 weeks' time. And they do 15% off versus 10, which is what most brands do. Another one of my favorite brands, y'all. I'm so excited for Monday's live because I'm doing my lethal reveal. I am excited as hell to show y'all these palettes. And we're going to decide on a name from names for the palettes that my members submitted. And so we're going to name the palettes, and I'm going to put labels on them to remind me what the names are. And so I'll be telling you what the name options are based on the names that the members sent in. And then we'll decide together like which name we're going to actually use. But some of them in my mind, it just makes so much sense what the name was. I'm like, that might just be it. Um, but yeah, so the suggestions were like really good, and I'm just like, I really see it. I see the vision here, and so I'm excited for that because Lethal is one of my other favorite brands. Not so much this palette. Lethal just works for me, even if I don't particularly care for all the colors in it. I'm not going to talk about these because you already know how to feel about those, but the shades work for me. They work for me. And I seldom want the boom pow. And that's been a complaint sometimes from some brands. It's like, oh, the shimmers is, But if I like dark, grungy, smoky, gothy, vampy. And so I don't need the boom pow. But some of their other palettes, their singles that I did BYOPs for, some of them shades are like boom pow. And I'm like, oh, wow, it's pretty. But that's not what I live for. You know what I mean? But Lethal just works. They're kind of expensive too. When I shop Lethal, I use Teresa's dead code, and her code is garbage, and that gives 10% off, which takes off some of the shipping. Because I forget how much you need to spend for free shipping, and I'm just like, no, no, no. But that is one of my favorite brands. The last favorite brand I'm going to talk about is MAC Cosmetics. You broke down and ordered the Dexter. You did, Janessa. You must love this show because when I was talking about it, when I did the dupe look with Notoriously Morbid's palette, what was that palette? Oh my gosh. I know it had red in there and a black and something else. Dang. It was it Shadows of the Vampire? It might have been Shadows of the Vampire. So I did a dupe look because, okay, we did one red look and one smoky look, and that's what you can do with Dexter because one side is reddish and one side is smoky. So, and I had said you do up until the last episode. I wish I had stopped at the second to the last. I'm so salty, Janessa says. And I said in that video, if you're a fan of the show, you're going to buy it, period. Hands down, no judgment. But as far as it being dupable, I think we have reds and browns and grays. um, but yeah, I'm like, if you love the movie, you're gonna buy it. Period. The show, the TV show. I think I made it through half of one episode, and I was just like, this ain't quite for me. Um, yeah, so I didn't get. I'm not getting that one, but I did order something else. So MAC is one of my favorite brands because the shadows just work for me. Period. You don't get boom pow from MAC, not at all. Even their shimmers are more like satins, but they do show up and they work. The only shadow I've had problem. The only shadow I had problems with was chrome yellow. It did not want to pick up, and when it did, it didn't want to put down on my lid. And so I think that one was just a dud. Excuse me, but just for a consistent, easy formula to use and get pretty looks from, MAC is one of my favorite brands. And I need to use the Pride palette more. It's just so huge that when I'm looking at what to use, I'm just like, it's so pretty. I just keep staring at it. And so my favorite eyeshadow brands of all time, MAC Cosmetics, Lethal Cosmetics, Notoriously Morbid, and Natasha Denona. And yes, Pat McGrath is not in here. That is not one of my all-time favorites. A couple of her motherships I really do enjoy, but the brand as a whole for eyeshadows, that's not one of my tops. These are my tops right here. So now we're going to talk about brushes. What are some of your favorite eyeshadow brands? Like, are you die hard for like any particular brand? Like, I know people, except for like the past year, some people were like, I'm a collector of Pat McGrath, and that kind of phased out last year. But are you like a diehard fan of any brand that you're like you just buy everything or almost everything they put out just because it's that name? Are any of you that way? No judgment, no shame. Because I kind of feel that way, and I'm questioning it, and I'm looking at the Natasha palette because I started to feel like I was becoming a I don't want to say a collector, but like when I got I'm a diehard for no brand says lock because when I bought I need a new well, I bought I need a new last, but when I got golden and then I got the other palette, I'm like these ain't even my vibe. Like oh it was warm, which I did send to a better home, but not really to Sarah. And so, but I was kind of feeling like that because I'm like, why am I buying these palettes that's not my vibe at all? And it turned out to be, which is the mindset that I've been working on changing because I know I'm going to get a pretty look. I know it's going to be easy to work with, and that's going to be it. And so I have been working on getting out of that mindset. And I do like I need a new, surprising even to me. I do really like it because it is easy to use. I can take that with me, to academy or somewhere. Whatever I put on is going to look nice. And the same with golden, which I put some of the star shadows in there. Whatever I do with it is going to look nice. Um, Whereas like something like this, I gotta think about it. Something like this, I gotta think about it. But there are some palettes, quite a few in my stash that I won't have to think about it. This being one of them, Unfiltered Nudes by MAC. Whatever you do, it's gonna look nice. I mean, everything. It's just very cohesive. But so these are my four top brands, and it wasn't as hard as I thought to pick four. Well, I didn't have a number, but to pick the ones that were my favorites. And so none of y'all are diehards for any brand, which is good because my thing was like if when I would hear people say, and if you're a collector, this is what you do, that they would buy everything that a brand came out with, the whole collection, every single thing, every single collection. And I'm like, if you're not going in debt over it and you got space for it, I love it for you. But in my mind, I'm like, am I going to even wear everything in here? You know what I mean? But no judgment, no shame. Sarah says, yeah, I had to stop grabbing that MAC palette all the time. It's so easy. It just works. It's just so easy. It's not messy. It stays. It's not patchy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I remember I'm having a memory now of when I did If I Can Only Keep 10. Someone has said, if those were really all the 10, being lazy, seriously. Hey, if it looks good, it looks good. I wouldn't say lazy. You just know it works. And so if you guys to go somewhere, just and be out the door. But someone asked, would I really be content if I really could only have those 10 palettes? And I thought about it, and I'm like, would I? And at the time, I said no. And the answer still is no. But I really think sometimes, like, my, like, all-time favorite palettes, because I love every brand that I have. I really do. I love I love 98% of all the brands that I have. And so I was really thinking, like, if I were to just pick out, like, which are my favorite palettes from my favorite brands, if that was all I had, would I be content? And sometimes I think about that, and I don't have an answer yet. Because, of course, I want to say yes, but deep down, I'm like, that doesn't feel right to say that. Because, one, I like variety. Number two, whatever, but... And then I think about my different aesthetics. Okay, Notoriously Morbid can be my golf grunge vibe. And so can Lethal for that matter. But then Lethal will also give me bolds and brights. I got a hive on my arm. I'm getting new. If y'all don't know about hives, they come and they go. And sometimes when they come, it's in a different place than where they were before. I didn't have hives on my arm before, like since December 19th when I first got them. And I'm looking at my arm like, damn, I think I'm going to have to take a Benadryl later. This is, okay. So I really would love to say yes, I would. But then I feel like the answer honestly would be no, because I do like having what I have. I did take some palettes out of my stash, and I really feel good about that because I'm like they weren't, my top anywhere near the top. And so actually I took out five palettes out of my stash. And so I've really been looking critically at my stash. Like, what will I not miss? Because there's some stuff I don't use for a long time just because I'm using other stuff. And then there's some stuff I haven't used in a long time because I'm just like, why are you here? Because it doesn't call to me. And when I look at it, I'm just like, like it doesn't mean much to me, if that makes sense. And so I've really been paying attention to what do I feel when I see this palette? Would I miss it if I didn't have it here? And if the answer is no, I took it out. Yes, indeed. I probably never go to that again. So, yeah. So I really do wonder, like, would I? And I'm like, the answer is no. I am also being more thoughtful about palettes that I buy. Notoriously Morbid has a new one coming out. I forget what it's called. And so I was looking at the picture and I'm like, no. And it was all shimmer, all metallic or whatever. But I was looking at the color story, like 4 of the shades look very similar. And I'm like, no. And I did think about getting it still because I know it's going to work for me. And then I said, that's the mindset I'm trying to get away from. So I did not order it. And I'm not even tempted to order it. But I was just looking at it like the color story was just kind of like, But I knew it would work for me though. But so I am getting better with that. And even as I use palettes, I'm thinking like, do I really want to keep this here? And it's nothing wrong with the palettes. It's just like, it's not moving me in any kind of way, if that makes sense. Excuse me. So, what is a determining factor for y'all when y'all are looking at palettes, whether to keep them or not, or whether to buy it or not? Like, is it a feeling or is it a thought of, wow, that's pretty, I'm just going to get it? And I know a lot of people do that, so no judgment. And I see that a lot in comments under videos. Oh, that palette is pretty. You just sold me on it. I'm going to buy it. And I'm just like, okay, you're buying the palette. Sarah says, yup, it makes sense. Sarah says, not Sarah says. Sarah says, yes, it makes sense. And so I be thinking to myself, so you're going to buy it because you like the look that this person did with it. And then I think about, that doesn't mean it's going to look that way on you. How stuff shows up on us depends on the brush we use, the technique we use, the primer we use, or not using a primer, and also our technique and our skill level. So if you see this look that's like, ooh, wow, you sold me, I'm going to buy it, that don't mean it's going to look like that on you. So in my mind, I'm just like, so you're buying this palette because you like the look that this one person did. Okay. And so I think about things like that because in general, I do feel like makeup is overconsumed. I really do. And it's hard not to fall into that because it's like, ooh, pretty, shiny, buy it. And y'all know new stuff come out every friggin' week. Sarah said, I think about what I have and if it's a brand that I don't have, but I'm interested in trying are some of my reasons. Those are good reasons. If it's something you don't have and that you've been interested in, that's a very good reason. And when my recent purchase, I thought about it for like 2 weeks because I was just like, I know I do like the brand, but what about the color story? And then I thought about other brands that had a similar color story. And so then I'm like, is that going to make a difference? Like in the mix of everything else. And then I ended up buying it. But I do try to think, and y'all know I think critically anyway, but I do really try to analyze, why am I wanting this palette? Or I don't really want it, but I think I want to buy it, which makes no friggin' sense. But sometimes I think, well, I do that sometimes. I don't know if anybody else does. Let me know if this is true for you too. Like you look at something and you're like, but then you buy it anyway for whatever reason. It's just like, I get it. And then you get it and don't use it for like 6 months or something like that. And no judgment if you do that. But I see a lot of videos and it's just buy. Or watching new release videos and they're like, I'm getting this and I'm getting that. Next week, new stuff come out. I'm getting this, I'm getting that. And I'm just like, damn, like how And I don't judge. When I first started my makeup journey, I was buying everything that the YouTubers were saying I needed to buy. So my motto for the Crazy Troll Nation is personal, because that's how I started. Because I was believing, me being new and naive, I was like, if they say I gotta buy it, I gotta buy it. And I bought it. And half the stuff I didn't even like. And so it was a learning process. Janessa says, I sometimes buy things that I'm mad about. If it's a brand I really love, I've been trying to slow down with my purchases, but my favorite indies are coming from my neck. And that's how I felt about the Notoriously Morbid palette, Janessa. I'm like, I love the brand. The color story was meh, but I'm like, I love the brand. But then I'm like, you know what? Because color story wouldn't have added to anything it wouldn't have added to my stash. Sarah says, yep, I've done that and probably will do it again. That's honest, because that is honest, because and it's good that you know that, because some people be in denial. No, 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 no. And it's like, yeah, girl. And I've done that too. And I'm working on not doing it as much. Because at the end of the day, night or morning or whatever, it's just makeup. Like, it's not a need. Like, we can survive without it. And so I think about that too. Like, is this going to be money well spent? Like, am I really going to use this? And that's where I'm at with the 5 palettes that I pulled, from my stash. I'm like, what? And I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. I might see who might want them, but I'm just like, you can go. You can go and I won't miss you. So we're going to talk about, y'all, my favorite makeup brushes. This is not a shocker to y'all that's here, but if you're watching a replay or if this is your first time here, hello and welcome. We're going to talk about my favorite makeup brushes now. This will not be a shock to anybody here, I'm sure. One thing I want to talk about, where's that other little brush? Oh, there it is. Gourmand Girls has a palette coming out next week, says Janessa. Blvd has a palette and 2 highlighters. Blend Bunny and Nomad already releases this, but that's a lot. But you wear a lot of makeup though, Janessa. So I can't even say nothing about that, because you do wear your stuff. And so I had a palette from Gourmand Girls years and years and years ago. I didn't care for the formula too much. And I forget which one it was, but and it was, I don't know if it was on sale or what, but I bought 2 of them to use one for a giveaway. And then when I used the one I had, I didn't even like the formula. I was just like, they must have been on sale for me to get 2 of them. And it was 2 of the same one. So I purchased one particularly just to give away. I don't have anything from Blvd because I can't wear that stuff. Blend Bunny can't wear that stuff. We still have a Blend Bunny palette to give away, the Machina palette. And we have a Nomad Paradise Islands palette to give away. And I think we're going to do Paradise Islands sometime in the spring, I think. I'm not sure. But, and we have a Pat Quint to give away, because that rolled around because the person never contacted me, to my knowledge. And I'm wondering if they messaged me on my makeup Instagram, and I haven't been on there now for how long? And so that's going to roll back around to another giveaway. And we have a few other things to give away. Sorry, y'all, thought I saw something. I see dead people. 2 of my favorite brushes, and I'm going to show you all of my favorite brushes. Well, not all of my favorite brushes. I tried to pick something for each thing. Blush, bronzer, eyeshadow, blender, that type of thing. These 2 brushes right here, these are Real Techniques brushes. This one is the number 200. This one is the number 210. The 200 says Expert Face Brush. And so I have used this for concealer, and it's so soft. I love this brush. And this is the 210, and it says it's a concealer brush. I use this one now, right now, I use this one for these cream products, because it fits in the pan, and I can get enough. I'll dip straight in, I'll dip on the side, and I'll dip on the side, and then I'll close it up, and I'll work off of whatever's on a brush, and this will take care of both sides of my face. And I remember when I had said I was going to purchase more of these, and I did, and I do have quite a few in my kit for when I do clients' faces. because I used to scoop it out with a spatula. That's why you see lines in it. I would scoop it out and then I would put it, pretend this is a metal palette. I would put it on a palette and work off of this. But then I'm like, okay, then I gotta clean the spatula. Then I gotta clean the palette. When I can just, get everything on here and just work off of this whole thing. And because creams, these go a long way, you just need a little bit. So even for today, I used one of these for my blush. I put some on this side, some on that side, and blended it out, and it was fine. So I really love these for cream products, and they're inexpensive. And Ulta always has sales, and that's when I have bought the last batch. And so I have quite a few here for me, and I have quite a few in my kit. But I did love it prior to that for foundation, and I only use it for foundation. But then I have another love for a foundation brush. So this I use for my cream stuff, and I love it. I love it. The 210, the concealer brush, it does work good for concealer. I mostly use this to blend out my eye primer, because y'all know I don't use my hands for makeup. And so I'll put on the primer with the wand, and then I'll use this to blend it out. Today I used this brush. Well, I used 1, 2, 3 of them, because and I have like 5 or 6. I used one to blend out my eyeshadow primer. The second one I swiped in here on both sides, and that's what I did. That line and it was dark. When y'all see the video, y'all gonna be like, oh my gosh. But then by the time I put everything else on, it toned it down. So I got enough on both sides of the brush, tapped it, turned it over, tapped it, went back and blended, went back and blended. So there's no double dipping. That took care of that. So I put that down. And then I took another one of these and did the same with this shade, this side and that side. Tap, tap for bronzer, tap, tap, and then blended it, and then blended it. Then I took a third one. This one, put a little bit on both sides, tap, 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 blend it for highlighter. I love these for that, because I don't have to double dip, I don't have to clean the spatula, I don't have to clean the palette, just get enough on the brush. And if it looks like it might be too much, I'll tap onto a palette instead of on my skin, and then if I need more, I just go in and use that. So either way, I'm cleaning a palette. But usually, I don't have to use off of whatever I tapped into the palette. But I love these for cream products. And so the larger one for larger areas, the smaller one for detailed line or for highlight, and also for blending out my eye primer. And it's a concealer brush. You can use it for concealer, and it does fit like right under there. And so these are two of my all-time favorite brushes, and I love how inexpensive they are. That's why I got so many. And so, do you guys use Real Techniques brushes? I saw Bestie use one of these the other day for concealer, and she was saying she really likes it for concealer. And I'm thinking, I have a lot of those. The 210 is the little one, and the 200 is the big one. Janessa, Dawn says, Janessa loved that heart-shaped packaging from Bella Beauty Bar. Hey, Dawn, you need to start doing videos and show your collection. Show us what packaging you love most. How about that? Oh, yes, Dawn says, Janessa, those heart-shaped pins are calling to me. I don't like those. When I see pins like that, I'm like, how are you going to, get all the product out? And the same with LYS. It's a triangle. So I'm like, how are you going to get the shadow out of the corners? I remember when I was with Fabulous 50osity, and we were somewhere, and we went into Ulta, and then we went into a Sephora, and she was buying one. I said, how are you going to get the shadow out the corners? And then she looked at it and was like, that's a good question. I don't know. I was cracking up. Because I be thinking, how can I get all the product out? Which, I have never panned a blush. I have never panned an eyeshadow. I did pan that bronzer from House Labs, though. But it's like, I don't even pan stuff. So I'm just like, I don't even know why I thought about that. I don't know. I be thinking stuff for no good reason. Sarah says, yes, you have both of these brushes. When I tried these, Sarah, for them cream products, I'm like, I'm getting more. And when Ulta had a sale, yes, ma'am. I got a bunch for me at my station. I got a bunch in my kit. And they come in handy. Like, it's just them brushes. Noah says we're not getting it all out. I know, people don't even pan. I don't know anybody. Well, I have seen videos where they pan shadows. But it was really intentional. Like, just using what I have as I use it naturally. I'm not going to pan a shadow. But, and part of me feels like if I were to say, okay, my goal is to pan this shadow, I would have to really use this like a lot, which means not using a bunch of other stuff I got. You know what I mean? And so I'm just like, I don't know if I would even want to say I'm going to pan a palette, because then I would feel like I would feel obligated to keep using it, using it, using it, and then everything else is just sitting, and stuff sits longer unused than I wanted to anyway, just from using other stuff naturally. But doing says we don't pan. Yeah, I've never panned a shadow ever, ever. And this is I love Real Technique sponges. When I was trying to get into sponges, I really liked them too, and they're inexpensive. And I had got a few from this was years and years ago, and then I realized I'm not a sponge person. But a lot of them are bigger and fluffier than I typically like. Yeah, they do. They be this big, and then you put water on them, they be like, I'm like, this is a friggin' tennis ball. Like what the what the hell? And what it was for me also was the process. You wet it and wring it out, and then I would put it inside of like a dish towel or something, a clean one, and make sure I get all the excess water out. And I'm like, that's too much. Y'all know I'm lazy. I want to put my brush in something, put it on, and be like, oh, that's pretty, and that be it. I don't want to be doing all all of that stuff. But then I found that I really didn't need sponges to get the looks that I wanted. But I do know that depending on what they're going for, like it can be really handy. And so I'm not knocking it. But just everyday regular foundation use or whatever, I'm like, I don't need a sponge. For me, for how I do my face. But yeah, some people love sponges. I really tried too, and I was just like, So for primer, concealer, foundation, my favorite brush. Sigma F08, because of the shape. This brush, I can get right in here. I can get into the corner of my nose, where it's red when I don't have face paint on. Go right into the corner, This works really well for me. And if you've seen me, I don't think I've done a full face thing in a while. But you see, I just pat all over. And then if I do swirl, I go back and press. And so that's why I don't get streaks that people say they have to always go in with a sponge afterwards because they have streaks from using a brush. Yeah, if you just swipe, you may have streaks. And also, it may be too much product. But patting foundation on, I never have streaks. And then if I do swirl, I'll go back and pat over it. I don't have any streaks. And so, but then that's the technique that I use. And it does take longer, I will say that. Because if I just swiped it on, I could be done quicker. But doing, I got a big face. Y'all look at my face. And so it does take time, but I like how it looks. And for me, when I pat it in, it still looks like my skin. My skin is not completely smooth. I do not have glass skin. And so this, I'm not going to say it shows the texture in my skin because my skin doesn't show a lot of texture, but it looks skin-like because I'm pressing it into my skin. Y'all, I got an email from Pat McGrath team or whatever. They're coming out with glass skin, whatever that stuff is that she was doing on the runway. They're about to bring that out. And I'm thinking, like, if I see somebody on the street looking like that, to me, I'm going to be honest, because y'all know I do that. To me, that shit looks scary. Like for a fashion show or something, yes. But if you just putting the glass look thing on and you just going to the grocery store, and I watch a lot of horror and suspense, to me that shit it look unnatural. And I'm just like, I would be scared if I saw somebody like that. I would be like, oh, says me with the foo-foo white eyelashes today. It does look scary. Jeanette said I would totally wear that to the grocery store. And I would be like, that's my friend. That's my friend over there, y'all. Yeah, but it looks scary. And even in like the promo thing, one thing I don't like about the promo stuff they send in emails is that if it flips pictures really fast, and sometimes it triggers a vertical episode for me. So I just be like, okay, wait, I can't keep looking at this. But I was like, who? And then I said to myself, this is the Pat McGrath that we knew and loved when she was in creative control of the damn brand. That's the Pat McGrath that did that glass look runway stuff, and now they're going to put it out on the website for sale. That's the Pat McGrath that we know. This other stuff. But anyway, yeah, and then they show how like you just peel it off, like when you want to take out. Ugh, I'm moving on, but I won't be buying that. But I think it would be nice for an event, a cosplay event or a show or something. But just for every day, like, why are you looking like you in a horror movie? Like, what happened to your face? But that's my friend over there. I would still claim you, Janessa. That's my hooker clown potato face cereal friend over there. Yup. That's my friend. And for setting my face with powder, I don't I and I got two of these over here. And I hesitate because his shit is expensive. And he only has to sell maybe once, maybe twice a year. Scott Barnes. This is my is it my go-to? This is my go-to brush. Glossy potato face serial killer. You gotta put it all in there. Glossy clown troll potato face serial killer. You gotta put all of them in here. I'm like, that's my friend. But this is my go-to brush for setting powder. After I put on foundation, this is a brush I go to for setting powder. And even though it's smaller, and the reason I hesitate is because I have a wider brush from Lethal, which I want to say would be better, but I would have to use two brushes instead of one. And I'll tell you why. This one, look at this. Boom, right up under my eye, right into the corner. Around the corners of my nose. And so the one that's wider, I can do everything except get up close and personal in these areas. And so I'll do my under eye first, and then I'll do around here, and then I'll put powder on the side of the brush and just pat. And this is where a larger brush would come in handy because it's bigger. So I can get this done quicker, but I'll just tap this on, go back in, tap it on, go back in, tap it on. But this is my go-to because I can get right here into the corner of my eye, both sides. I can get into the corner of my nose. So this is my go-to brush for setting my face. And this is a Scott Barnes number 64. Shit is expensive. So when he does have a sale, I do usually put it on my community tab. Maybe like twice a year, he'll do like 30% off or something. And one time he did a 40% off, and that's when I bought another brush. I'm going to skip to his other one that's my favorite. The shit is $50. It's $50. So when it was like a 40% off, I bought another one. This one, number 64. No, this was 64. This one is number 67. Look how big this like. This shit is huge. $50, y'all. And it takes at least 2 days to dry. It is so thick, but it is so soft. This one I use for the Hourglass finishing powders because, y'all, it fits right into the pan. I can put it in the pan, turn it, tap it. I can go straight in, press it in. I'm done. And then do some buffing. I'm done. This brush. And I knew I wanted a second one. Do I have three? I know I have at least two because it takes 2 days to dry. I'm like, what if I want to use it tomorrow? It's going to be still wet. So I knew I wanted to get another one, definitely. Do I have three? I don't know, but I know I at least have two. This brush is friggin' huge. And me having a big face, I can do my whole face like super quick because it's so friggin' big. This thing is $50 fucking dollars. When I first heard of his brushes, there was a set of all the brushes. I bought the whole set. And the reviews were funny as hell because some people because they have the brushes in like this thing. And it says the stand does not come with the brushes. And people were commenting that the stand didn't come with the brushes. And I'm like, did you not read what it said? People don't like me cursing. 2 people left. I did say I cursed on the intro, right? That's why I say that, because I know some people are offended by it. But I can't not be me. And so then the brushes that I like the most, I bought them individually when he had another sale. But this brush off, and even for setting powder, because it could just get everything done real quick, except I won't be able to get under here, because look at this. I won't be able to get into the corners of my nose. But this is my all-time favorite for finishing powders. And it is just so soft. Oh my gosh, it's a pretty nice brush. And so Maybe I should say I cursed like a few times throughout the video in case people missed the intro. But then you know what? I don't even think that would work because sometimes people skip, so they wouldn't hear me say it anyway. My favorite bronzer brush. These are all Sigmas. This is a Sigma, and I have 3 more Sigmas to show you from their soft collection. Shout out to Bestie. I had wanted some more of the soft collection brushes. I didn't get the whole set because I think it was like 2 of them. I'm like, I don't want that brush. And so I purchased it. They're $25 a piece, which isn't a lot for a brush. It's really not. And excuse me, she had texted me one day. She's like, "Oh, they have them. Where did they have it? I don't. Macy's. They had them for half off, 50% off. It's a $25 brush, $12.50. So I bought a couple more of quite a few of them because I'm just like, that's a good sale. Like, what the hell?" And the Sigma website, I think they were 30% off or 40%. But Macy's it was 50% off. I'm like, I'm going over there. And so, but this one is Soft Sculpt number F11. I like this one for bronzer, which I keep thinking I would like this one for bronzer because you have your natural shape already with this brush. But no, this one I like better for bronzer. And maybe because my face is bigger. And so I do put my bronzer like here, whereas for contour I would do the tip of the brush and just do here. But I love this brush for bronzer. I use it for contour interchangeably, and you know, I'll put a little here, come along my chin, and you can see where it is today because it's like darker right here, and then I'll do the corners and then sweep across. I love this for bronzer. You can also use it for blush. You can use brushes for whatever purpose it serves you best, but I do really like this brush. This one is Soft Collection Soft Angled Cheek Brush F43. This one I like for I'm stuttering. This one I like for blush, and I think it's because it's almost flat at the top where this one is pointed, and I think that's why. Because this does look like it would go best for like this area because of the shape of it. But no, I like this one for blush because I tap straight into the blush and then I just tap it on my face. Tap into the blush, tap it on my face, and then I might swirl a little bit, and then that's it. But this is just so easy, and these brushes are so soft. I love these brushes. And another one from the Soft Collection, F03. It says High Cheekbone Highlighter Brush. This, I swipe it in the highlighter, and then I swipe, 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 and then I'll, you know, do this and blend it. And I did use these today, not these ones because the ones I used already washed and drying. But I really like this brush for that. What are some of y'all favorite brand and types of brushes? The rest is going to go quick. My go-to for upper lash line has been the MAC 210 because it's so thin. And I can just get in there, do what I got to do. For putting gel eyeliner in my brows, this is a Esom V09 because it does fit the width of my brow until I get here with no hair, and then I just use the tip of the brush to draw down here. I also have used this sometime for like my lip line. So this can be an eyeliner brush, even for lower lash line, tear duct. You can use it for whatever, but I use this one. I love this one for, why am I tilting my head being lazy? Let me lift up my arm to put gel in my brows. And I have used it for the other purposes, but this is my go-to for gel in my brows, which I feel like I haven't done in a little while. For lower lash line, the Makeup Forever number 210 brush. This is short and it's stubby. This is good for shimmers and metallics for my lower lash line because I can dip it in the shadow and then I just press it and wiggle it, press it and wiggle it, press it and wiggle it, and then I'll go back and sweep. But this will put it, even if it's a flaky shade, it just puts it right where you want it, just stamp it on. And so I love this brush for that. And I've had 2 of these only, I think, which is fine. We got 3 more brushes, y'all, and then we'll be done. For lid shade, let's do blender, because I only have one blending brush that I brought over here to show you. This is the Sigma E49. I've been using this a lot lately because it's short and it's tapered. And so because I take my lid shades up so high, if I use a fluffy brush is going to be too big. This one, I realized I've been using this every time I've been doing my makeup. I have 3 of these, I believe. Why not 4? I don't know. But this, because it is tapered and with this little bit of space up here above the pink, this, look at this, it fits right there. And so I've been picking this up lately for that. Or like if I don't take my lid shades up that high and I'm going to do a brow bone shade and I just need color right here because it is so tapered, I can get the color exactly where I want it. And so this has become my go-to. And I've been thinking about, do I want to do a brush declutter? Sarah says, Real Techniques, Sigma eye brushes, and some Morphe. You have Morphe? No shame. I have some coloring brushes that I like too. One of the instructors, no, it was the one who was doing the bonus material. She was like, Morphe, 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 the brushes. I'm just like, I've never purchased from Morphe except the eyeliner brush from either TJ Maxx or Marshalls for like $2.99 because they've just been always so problematic. I'm like, I'm not supporting. But I have heard people say, Sarah, the brushes are really nice. I don't know. I didn't get any. But and they're always having sales at Ulta, so those would be really inexpensive to get. But I found that I've been using this one a lot. I have 3 of them, and part of me is like, get more. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because sometimes I do first half transition color, second half transition color. But then if I have 2, that's enough. Because one shade here, use the clean brush and do the other shade here, the other shade there. So y'all only need 2 of them, but I have at least 3. I do know that. So this is my go-to for that. And Real Techniques brushes are soft. I remember this was years and years ago. They was my Eco Tools brushes. And I tried the Eco Tools brushes. To me, they were just so scratchy and pokey. I'm just like, no, let me go back to Real Techniques. Real Techniques brushes are nice. I like the ones, particularly the orange ones and the purple handle ones. Those I have in my travel brush kit, I think. The purple ones are really nice too. So I tend to like the orange ones. Or is this peach? What color is this, y'all? Somebody help me out. Is it peach? Excuse me. What color is this, y'all? Whatever color this is. And I'm saying orange because to me, this looks orange, but then in person, it looks pink. Y'all know my colors mixed up because this is pink and this don't look nothing like that. But this color one and the purple ones, I really like from Real Techniques. Yeah, I got them on sale at Ulta before I knew about that history. I have never. Oh my gosh. And Morphe has a huge thing at Ulta. It's like the whole row. I'm just like, damn. But nah, I've just never. I thought orange. Okay. And what did I say? Pink? Which this is pink and this is pink. So how was this pink? I'm just like. So the orange ones and the purple ones, I really like those. The Eco Tools ones to me was like straw. I'm like, it hurts. So my 2 all-time favorite eye shader brushes, meaning to put shadow on my lid, are these 2. And yeah, Hourglass is tiny and they hide from me. This one I like. It's the Hourglass number 3. Y'all see me use it a bit. If I'm doing a wide area. Because like even today, I use the angled eSum for inner corner, and then I use this one for like this area and this area because it's wide. And so if you have a lot of lid space, and not even lid space, but also transition space, which is what this is, my mobile lid is just here to here. But because I do my lid shades up higher, if I'm doing lid and all of this space, this works nice for that because it's wider and I can get it done quicker. Whereas the eSum V27 is more narrow, so it takes me more time. But this is my go-to for inner corner, outer corner, and for like flaky shades or shimmery shades because it's going to pick up and then it's going to go right where I put it, and it's not any extra bristles where it's going to fall out or flake off or whatever. And so I do like this for just, I guess to say more detailed work, but really it just holds shadow well. But if I'm doing this whole area, it will take longer, and I'll just use the Hourglass number 3. But this has become my go-to for shimmer shades, or if I'm doing like 4 shades on a lid, because here's 1 shade, here's 2 shades, here's 3 shades, here's 4. This works perfect for that. And then I'll just use a tip of it to blend the top edge of the colors. And so, okay, Mama. Ooh, tell her I said hello. Talk to you later, Jadessa. So that is it, y'all. Those are my all-time favorite makeup brands, my all-time favorite makeup brushes. I'm so sure that none of you here are surprised at all. Um, but if you're watching a replay, or if you're new here, now you know. Now you know what I love. And so, anybody else have any comments? Like, what are some of your favorite brands or your favorite tools for a particular thing? Oh, I will say one last thing before we go. This brush, this is my lazy brush. And I say that because I will set my face with it with setting powder. Then I'll put my bronzer on with it. And then I'll use the side of it to do my blush. And then I'll do the tip of it for my highlighter. So this can be like my all over face brush. And then I'll just go haphazard in the hourglass one and put the finishing powder all over. So when I'm feeling lazy, I use this one brush for like everything on my face. Setting powder, bronzer, blush, highlighter, and finishing powder. But if I'm feeling fancy and want to not neglect other brushes, then I'll just switch up and use a different bronzer, blush, and highlighter brush. But so that's all I got, y'all. I'm really excited for Monday for this project. And thanks to the members who did send me some suggestions for palette names. And I'm excited to have names for my palettes. And trust me, there will be a label on them. Yeah, and they're sitting here, and I'm just like so excited. And next Thursday, our live stream is, I think, my favorite or my top 15 skincare products or something. Anne had tagged me in it, and so I did that video. So that'll be next Thursday. But I'm really excited for Monday, and even for my top products. Y'all already know my skincare stuff, so that's ain't nothing new. And that's why I put that for Thursday, because it ain't nothing new. Because Mondays seems to be our night, and maybe because it's been Monday nights for a long time. Yeah, so Monday, if y'all can make it, my Lethal Cosmetics project, excuse me, my Lethal Cosmetics project, and I am hella excited. Yeah. So, any closing comments, thoughts, whatevers? I know y'all weren't surprised, so I didn't want to ask y'all if y'all were surprised again. But thank you for being here and indulging me and telling you stuff you already know. Y'all know I do love to talk about makeup. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and go, y'all. And I have videos going up the rest of this week. No, wait, it's only Friday. I think I have something going up Saturday. It might be that 2-minute cooking video. Not surprised. I know, Sarah. If nothing else, I am predictable. I am predictable. I never felt the urge to just try new stuff just to try new stuff. Like if it's a color story that comes out and I know I can use that brand, then like, yeah, I'll use that. But how some people are like, yeah, I got 20 blushes from all these brands, but I haven't tried that one. I want to see how that one is. I don't feel that I don't feel compelled to do that. And I know a lot of people do, and no shame, no judgment. But like I'm a consistent hoe. It's like if I like it, I'm going to get more. I'm going to get more. The same brand, I'm gonna get more. I'm gonna get more. Like I just don't feel the need to like try something new. Like why fix it if it ain't broken, kind of thing. But then every now and then something does come along, and I'm like, Natasha Denona has a cream blush and highlight duo coming out. I posted it on my community tab. No, I'm not buying it. I cannot justify buying it because this. Like, what color is she going to give me that's not in here for blushes? And if I want to go light but a little darker, I can even use this for a blush. And so I look at this and I'm like, I can't justify buying those blushes. And I don't use a lot of cream products in the first place. And even with this one, even though it's a color corrector, if I want to be funky with it, I could use that for a blush because there are orange blushes on the market. And so I'm not going to get those because I'm not able to justify it. And I love what I have, so it's like, why? But if y'all get it, let me know how it works, how it is. But I just don't ever feel that compulsion to be like, ooh, I gotta get it. I got 29 blushes, but I need to try that one. But and it's okay if people do that. It really is. Just don't go broke doing stuff. But yeah, so that's me. That's where I'm at. These are my all-time go-to things, and I don't know if I'm gonna do a brush declutter and just get rid of the ones that I don't not not ones that are not necessarily my go-to, but ones that I just don't use or haven't used for like 6 or 7 months. Because then it's like, why are you here? And I do have a lot of brushes, and so that's something um, I may either ask members or ask friends or whatever. And I've given brushes away before. Um, so yeah, that might be coming up, or I'll see what the members say, and then we'll just go from there. But yeah, that's going to be it. So thank y'all again for being here. I appreciate your time. I appreciate, excuse me, the engagement, the chat, and we'll be back here Monday night. And until then, I know it's for sure a video going up tomorrow, and then we'll be back here Monday. Yes, Sarah. People will take brushes, and the people that get them, they're like, "Oh, they look new." That's because I wash them at every use and take care of them, and because they're good brushes, they hold the shape. So like nothing's all like, "Here, you want this brush?" Like it's not. And I do feel good about when I give brushes away. I wash them again, even if I haven't used a brush in months. I wash it again before I send it off, and hopefully they'll wash it when they get it. Because I wash brushes even when they're brand new. I'll wash them before I use it because I don't know where it's been before I got it. But yeah, people have been pleased like with the brushes that they received from me. But no longer buys tonight, y'all. We're going to go. Thank you again so much for being here, and lots of information down below as always. And as always, self acceptance, self love. That is the crazy troll nation way. Thank you. And yes, Sarah says everybody have a great weekend, and you will see me back here Monday. Bye.